Man, this is going to be a bit fucked. Actually, come to think of it, I don't even know. Did we decide if we're stitching these together or if we're doing them separately? Do you remember?
I like the idea of stitching them together. I say send it.
I like the idea of
I,
stitching them
I am
together.
the CEO of a hero story. I make the decisions here.
You are a founding father, bro. I noticed that all of the episodes that I've appeared in are on YouTube, and like going back, it's so fucking strange. I was
The
looking,
evolution you've had since episode 10, whatever.
I was so fat, and my camera was like, I was like looking down at it like this. This looked fucking awful.
You're like, hey, fatty.
I just realized, like, if Hunter wants us to stitch these together, like, I'm not recording audio. I'm only recording the Zoom call. So I wonder how he's gonna do that. I guess just take the audio from the video. Anyway, welcome to a Hero Story episode 248.
248.
I believe this is going to be the first part of this 3-part podcast because none of us could record on the same day, but
Except for you.
except for Mr. Australia, who can record every fucking day.
All
So
3 days.
so today I'm with JD. Tomorrow I'll be with one of the other ones, and then the day after I'll be with another person, and then we're gonna release this as 3 different mini podcasts cut together, which is
It's basically 3 podcasts stitched together. So
yeah.
it's Harper and me. The next day it's Harper and Tyler, and then the next day it's Harper and Hunter. But it's like one continuous episode, like 20 to 30 minutes each. So this is the JD section. Enjoy. It's gonna be the best one. Objectively
Likely.
speaking.
It's going to be the only one where I'm going to talk about a comic book with someone. Because if Hunter goes, "Hey, do you want to read this?" I'll be like, "I'm not reading Batman. I'm sorry, motherfucker. Get away from me. It's not happening, bro." But yeah, what the fuck I was going to say? We're talking about old episodes and shit. Like we're so friendly to each other. We're so kind. We're making jokes, but the jokes are like at the expense of like, oh, funny comic book thing. And now I like
Right.
look at us, and now all we do is just insult each other. And
Roast each other. And
yeah, it's like so different. And like you, JD, I've noticed that you have looked really good. You've just gotten older. Hunter has looked like 17 different people. Tyler has looked the same since like the very fucking beginning. And
I think he came out of the womb like that. He came out of the womb with the big,
but
curls.
like straight, if you look at him in like the first one he appeared in versus now, he legitimately looks exactly the same. And I think maybe like because he doesn't grow a beard either, like his face has just
Yeah.
stayed the same, his hair is mostly the same, and
Right.
I was much fatter. So
Yeah.
that's something.
You look at the first Timmy's talk. Look at us.
God damn, look at us.
The gang's all here.
We were so happy and full of joy. Yeah, now look at us. Now we can't even record. We have to record 3 different
Different
days.
days. It's like a custody hearing. Like you get me one day, you get Tyler the next day.
It's so funny because the lead up, like we keep talking about mythical fucking 250, and it's so close, and we're still just like, hopefully that comes together because like
Yeah. Yeah.
otherwise we're fucked. What do we do if
Big,
250 rolls around and we don't have Walt Disney on the podcast or whoever we're having?
I mean, I just want to talk about, Walt Disney's thoughts on Germany and just, what he,
You gotta
what he
just
brings forward and what he sneaks into his movies.
yeah, you just gotta wake him up from his cryo chamber or whatever the fuck, right?
Unfreeze his brain. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that's right. Hunter's idea was that I was gonna have questions for this
You were going to be like a talk show host, and we were like 3 different. Yeah.
which I like the idea, and I think naturally that is something that I can be quite gifted at, being like talk show hosty. However, these are the questions I wrote down. Ready? You want to hear them?
Yeah, let's hear it.
They were your favorite underrated movie, the movie you think is the most overrated, and then a fuck, marry, kill. And I was just gonna pick people at random. Just comic book characters. I wasn't gonna say, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I assumed the fuck Mary Kill was gonna be comic book characters.
Do you want to do a fuck, marry, kill right now? Because we actually have a comic book to talk about, and I think that's
Send it.
good.
Send it.
Okay. Who are characters you like? Can I make them absurd or should I make them logical?
Listen, you can do one of each if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, all right. Okay. Gerda, the Flash villain Gerda, the big
Oh,
like the
Girder, like the big
yeah,
iron guy.
the big Gerda man. Yeah, okay. Him,
Yeah.
Linda Park,
Okay.
Or what is that? What is that? What is that? Flaming like energy speedster from like Chain Lightning that we've talked about, the one that's like super fast or whatever.
Cobalt Blue.
No, not no, the woman one, the one that's just like all one like color of energy.
Something Allen.
Shit, something else.
No, she's like, fuck. I can't even think. I
Anyway,
know.
that one, Linda Park or Gerda, the 9 to 10 foot tall metal monster villain. Who are you picking?
So, I mean, we're gonna we're gonna fuck the human lightning bolt. I mean, just
You're
make
gonna
it quick,
fuck the
right?
human lightning bolt.
We're gonna make it quick, right? Wham bam, thank you, ma'am, done.
Okay.
We're gonna marry Linda Park. Obviously, Linda Park is the marriage material, and I guess I gotta kill Garter. I mean,
That feels too easy. It feels too easy. Because yeah, I guess if you marry Linda Park, I mean, she's good. She would be good wife.
yeah.
All right. All right. All right. What about this? Thor from Love and Thunder.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
Specific,
he like just from Love and Thunder?
just from Love and Thunder. Like that's how he looks in this moment. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Darth Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi without the helmet and he's dying.
Okay. Like so,
Uh,
Sebastian Stan. I mean,
yeah.
or Sebastian Shaw. I mean,
Sure. No.
just
Yeah.
Stan. It's
Sebastian.
fucking Bucky.
Yeah.
It's Bucky.
But Sebastian Shaw is also the Nazi dude from First Class. So I had to think about it.
That is true. They do have the same name.
Or Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock.
Okay, so we're gonna fuck. I think Benedict Cumberbatch because like he's, it's like one of those one interesting things that you look back at and you're like, he's a weird looking guy. He's kind of
It's
British,
unorthodox. It's
British people.
British. Yeah. Okay.
I think we gotta marry Thor. He's kind of annoying, but like there's the eye candy of it all.
Mm.
And then I'm gonna have to kill Darth Vader. I mean, he's all like white and lumpy and like
Yeah, but
gross.
he's now a supportive dad.
I don't want to fuck or
Oh
marry.
yeah, good point. I forgot the premise of the game.
You know, we're just hanging out with.
He's a supportive dad. Yeah, but I don't want to fuck or marry my supportive dad. Okay, that was a really good trial run. I'm not gonna do that with the other ones, I don't think.
Well, I mean, I don't even know. Hunter would be like, can't even say one of the words. So
Yeah, or you'd be like, would I have
it's
intercourse
Mary
with
Kill.
her?
So
I'm so. Oh no, he's still gonna fucking come up with the title this week. What do we call it? Three-way? That three-way is not bad.
I hear a story 3-way.
A hero story, the three-way.
Yeah, that works. That's the easy.
Anyway, we have actually have a fucking comic book to talk about. No news. I have no idea what the news is. I don't think there was much this week.
Is there ever news though? Is it
I
ever
feel like
anything?
there was. Oh. Maybe I should bring this up with everyone. Actually, I think this is something I should bring up with everyone. Fucking Daredevil has been kind of half canned.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So what happened is that Marvel is reevaluating completely how they're tackling fucking Marvel TV shows on Disney Plus and stuff, and they are not happy with Daredevil, so they've half scrapped it and kicked out the writers, and they're like starting fresh because Daredevil didn't show up in the suit until like the 4th episode, and it was like a legal procedural and not really a superhero show, which like some of that sounds all right, but also some of it
Didn't they
sounds
say like it was 4 episodes in to get Daredevil in the suit?
yeah, I see. When I first heard that, it didn't sound that bad to me. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's a big build-up. But then I thought about how long 4 episodes actually is. You know what I mean? What are you hearing?
A fire truck just drove by my place, and it is so fucking loud.
Oh, I can't hear it on my end, but for like you looked out like you're about to put on the mask and swing out the fucking window, bro.
In the city needs me.
That's the wrong character, but sure. I meant Spider-Man and you went to the city needs me. Yeah, that famous Spider-Man line.
Now who I am underneath Uncle Ben.
Underneath Uncle Ben. Yeah, anyway.
All right, fuck Mary.
Yeah, if you were
Jarvis, Uncle Ben, or Alfred.
I feel like I could do that one quite successfully. But anyway.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Out of Uncle Ben, Alfred, and
Jarvis.
Oh, okay. I'd marry Jarvis because he's an AI robot. Loophole. I would.
You're, I hate you so much.
That's a
That was a
loophole.
that was a Murray moment. That was a Hunter Murray moment.
I would fuck Alfred from Batman and Robin, where he's an AI and he's not real. Boom, loophole. And I'd kill
You're
the
really
other
into the
one.
AI.
I'd kill the other one, whoever they were.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle, but he's already dead anyway, bro. Easiest decision of my life.
You're the burglar who made Spider-Man. Then
I'll be
you kill him.
Sandman. I don't give a fuck. I'll shoot Uncle Ben. I'll shoot him
That's the
dead.
dumbest. That's the dumbest fucking. And I love those
The
movies.
retcon, yeah.
Like, why did they change it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make it. Again, also that arc works if you have him there, but he's not the one who shot him. Like he just sees it
Right.
happen and he's like, "Fuck, I could
Right.
have stopped it too." And then they have a mutual feeling of we both could have
Right.
stopped it,
Right.
and
That
he
it's
didn't do
so
it.
easy, so perfect. Instead, they
No,
were
but
like,
instead he literally.
the gun and it accidentally fires. Like, oh god.
So the dude that fell out the window is just the dude that robbed the place. Like he's the getaway driver.
Yeah, that dude Dennis is just like,
He's just nobody.
yeah.
And Sam Raimi did that movie, bro. Like
Yeah.
he made that record. He made that decision.
Yeah, it's terrible. Out
It's
of
just-
anything in Spider-Man 3, that might be my least favorite moment, and that's saying a lot.
I think
Say
that's
what you
probably
will about the cringy dance, whatever. I mean, the dance is cringy. I mean,
it
MJ
is.
and Harry the twist, very cringy. But like, this is like an absolute like character point. When you're changing like entire like everything in Spider-Man 1, then built around that moment is kind of weakened.
Yeah. Well, yes, yeah.
And
Retcons
when you
that
watch Spider-Man 1 again, right? And don't hurt me, just give me a chance. What about my uncle? Did you give him a chance?
give him a
Well,
chance. Yeah.
I guess I did give your uncle a chance because I didn't even shoot him.
I had nothing to fucking do with it. It was the Sandman, he said. No. This is
It was Flint Marco. He's running away. He's got a striped shirt on. You won't miss him.
I feel like Spider-Man 3 is the perfect example of a movie that, like, there's no nuance in the internet. You can't say that something is it's all right. It's either great or it's just awful.
I hear
Spider-Man. What the where are you burning down like currently?
I guess I am.
Am I gonna swing into a building and you're gonna be like, like in a red?
Not coming back, Chief.
Yeah, it's you who's out of your. It's you. It's
Wow.
you who's gobbing me off. It's
Are you all right? Let's start over. Are you in or are you out, Harper?
It's you who's out of Gobby, out of your mind.
Wrong answer. Oh,
do you want me to flip? Do I have to flip in the air?
yeah, do a flip.
Oh, fuck. How was that?
But then your wrist gets cut. You go,
that shit as a kid, and then like him on like the ceiling, and then it drips down like that. That is some core childhood memory shit.
more
Man.
memories. Watching Spider-Man 1 on the PSP on a road trip where I was like, oh man, it hit different. And then playing the video game on the PSP, I love that PSP.
I watched it on like an old film reel, and we had to manually turn the reel, and it would play in black and white. And every time there was text, it would come up in like the middle of the shot, and it would just say it in quotation marks, and the music was like
the old time piano. You watch Spider-Man the silent film?
Yeah, no, I thought it was it's a lot better than some other Spider-Man films that have released in recent times. Anyway, Spider-Man 3, I think, is the definition of just like a completely middle down the line, not bad, not great movie. It's like it's so fine.
It has a lot of redeeming moments, but then it has a lot of moments that just drag it exponentially down.
Yeah, like I mean, the retcon you're talking about is garbage. Why is Zoom telling me I've run out of time, bro? Wait, I've only got 9 minutes left. God damn it. That was short. How long have we been doing this?
I guess because it's when the Zoom call started, not when we started recording.
Oh. Huh. Oh, no.
Anyway,
we could cut it together. It'll be fine. It feels so weird to have a time limit on a conversation we haven't even got to greenlight in the Flash. But anyway, the retcon that you talked about, like, yeah, sure. It like sort of retroactively makes Spider-Man 1 not as, impactful. But the rest of Spider-Man 3 feels like inoffensively nothing. Like it's like you can watch it and be like, that was a thing that I watched and it hasn't ruined my life, but I also I'm not holding on to it.
Right.
That's how I feel about Spider-Man 3, where it's not like the Amazing Spider-Man where I'm like, Jesus God, I feel weird after that.
Is that the feeling you had out of theaters in 2012? High school Joshi just walked out and he's like, I don't know how to feel about myself.
I cried at the Gwen stuff, and then I gave the movie a 6 out of 10. So I was clearly like, I was like,
is that on your grand list somewhere?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Would I give it a 6 out of 10 now? Probably not. but it was still like I definitely was not caught up in the moment. Like when that first Godzilla movie came out in like 2014, I was like, this movie's like an 8 out of 10. This movie fucks so hard. And now I'm like, it fucks a moderate, it fucks an adequate amount to,
Moderate fuck, yeah.
yeah, it's like, one like a couple fucks a week, but like,
Yeah.
not overboard.
Yeah. No, it's a good rating to go.
That took up a minute of our time, JD. We've got to talk about Green Lantern, the
Talking about
Flash.
Green Lantern and the Flash. Green Lantern #4 came out this week by Jeremy Adams, and I begged Harper to read it. He's never actually read anything by Jeremy Adams, but now he has.
I read the first arc of his Flash.
Did you?
Yeah, the one where they're going through time and everything. I read that. The Return of Wally West or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I didn't
I
know you
read that. I read that when it was coming out. I'd stopped literally at the end of it.
I mean, that's so long ago now. It's like 2 years ago. It's just shocking to me.
Mhm.
You know, this was a classic Green Lantern and Flash issue. We get, Dylan, you son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
that was sweet. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed lots. There's so many little like like I screenshotted a couple just because I thought they were so dope. And even though if you're a Green Lantern fan, it's nothing new. But I like the whole conceit of the issue is that Sinestro has put bombs around the city, and then Hal like enlists Barry in an instant to find these bombs and help him from stopping them. And like when Barry finds the bombs and throws them up into the air, there's just this one panel where like Hal's got to destroy the bomb, and he's just like, okay, two constructs at one time, Hal, like you can do this. And instead of just like two like cinder blocks that just crush the bomb, he just fucking like constructs a great white shark that crunches the bomb. I thought that was so dope.
So the plot of this story is very Silver Agey, like you said. Like Sinestro plants bombs around the city,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
like good thing I know somebody fast, the Flash, and then Barry comes in, and it's just like love it. Like that's very Silver Age. I've been reading Silver Age Flash, and that's like straight out of that, and then I like Hal's biggest problem is that he doesn't do creative constructs. Like that's always been Kyle Rayner's thing. That's always been a knock on Hal. That he'll do like a boxing glove or a baseball glove, and that's like it.
Yeah.
So it's actually nice to see like some creative constructs. Like in this one, we got the great white shark.
We got the pool where he shoots the pool ball and takes out the net.
Like, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So I like that. Like it's definitely a more creative take on Hal, and I think that's Jeremy's MO. He did that in Green Lantern the animated series, which he wrote back in the day. So
this part that I love so much. And I assume you would have loved it too. I'm gonna try and show it to the camera. Fucking good luck to me. But it's this part here where like the villain, oh for fuck's sake, where the villain is there and Hal is like,
camera,
yeah, and he takes a camera out and shines just like green light in his face, and it's all just a distraction so Barry can just punch the shit out of him. And I just think that is, to me, that is the funniest thing the Flash can do. Like he can do any sort of sonic punch or whatever, but the idea of him running at super speed and just going like it's like 1,000 times is so funny.
It's also that like Barry didn't need the distraction. Like Barry could have just run up and like
he could have just done it anyway.
He's like, no, we're gonna fuck it up. We're gonna take a camera out and fucking blind him green and then beat the shit out of him.
Just the idea of like, what does that villain like? What does he do? He's just getting punched a million times a second. He's like, fuck. Like, it's so funny to me.
That's classic Brave and Bold right there.
Yeah,
that's amazing Barry Hal content. I love that.
I got Brave and Bold on. I got Brave and Bold.
And then Barry and Hal end the issue by talking on a rooftop, right?
Yes.
Just kind of catch up and just like Barry's like, what the hell are you doing in your life, man? Like, why is Carol engaged to another man? Like, you're Al Jordan. Like, get that shit together. He's like, I'm engaged to Iris. Wally's got 3 kids. The Titans of the Titans of the Justice League. He's like, we're getting old. Like, get your shit together.
I like that a lot. Barry is very inspiring and well written. It's like the Barry Allen I like when he's not being Wally. He's being he's post reboot. He's a younger guy, but he's a younger guy with like an old soul. Yeah, right? I love that shit. Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's something it's nice to see. It's nice to see Jeremy Adams actually write Barry because he hasn't written a lot of Barry. Obviously,
that's a good point.
So it's nice to see his voice for Barry, and he seems to have a very good voice for him. And I like when he has Hal say like, "Oh, I owe you, Barry," and Barry's like, "Dude, you owe me quite a bit." Like,
yeah, like Hal is such a fucking deadbeat, bro.
In Mark Waid's The Brave and the Bold, like every issue, like Hal says he's gonna pay for something.
Pay for it, doesn't? Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
it felt like it was like straight out of that. Like I think Jeremy definitely has a good voice for both characters, and it was nice to see them interact. And I think in the modern Barry era, I think that's where Barry works best in kind of small dose cameos and appearances here, and like as a supporting character, he works better to me.
Yeah, 100%.
So like it really shined in this issue, and I really enjoyed it. And it kind of felt like the Sinestro plot and the Barry plot could probably be like separate issues because there's plenty to do in both.
Yeah.
But it was nice that like we get to see Barry for an issue. It's kind of quick, kind of done, but it's just like it's refreshing.
I like the pacing. I like that the pacing of this issue was the start with Sinestro, the run through the city with the bombs, the Ferris air kind of stuff, and then the ending with Barry and Hal. Because most issues, and I found that it was dragging me down for a period of time, and I noticed it a lot with Marvel. And I mean, this is just how comic books are paced, but it was 12 pages of like, plot and story, and we're getting through the thing. And then by the 13th page, action sequence, 2 pages wrap up, and that's the end. And so it was always the first like 12 that I'm like, I want a little bit more. Or like, if you guys are going to talk, can you not talk about science terms and fucking minutia? Like, can you please like talk about, I don't know, like talk about something interesting that keeps you into like
make a great white shark, make a giant.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, I love the issues where like characters discuss ethics and like ideologies and stuff. But I'm not so much when they're standing there. They're like, if we put the hydro blubbity blub in the electrosphere and generate enough, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
Like it is gibberish for gibberish sake, and it sounds cool, but it's like not fun to read.
Right, and Hunter can't even read half those words, so it's like you're
Yeah,
losing some fucking there.
What was the fuck? Like, he had a word a couple weeks ago, like that was so integral to Thor, and he just like he couldn't get it. And Tyler was just like, "Dude, come on! Like, aren't you a Thor fan?"
So painful.
Yeah,
So
man.
painful.
Can't wait for my part with fucking Hunter in this goddamn thing. I wish I knew how long like this was going.
Yeah, I have no idea. I should have set a timer, but
I know.
honestly, I really like this issue. I'm looking forward to where Jeremy's Green Lantern goes. I hope Barry appears again soon because I think it's right now he doesn't have a solo book. He's ripe to appear in a book like this. So
I did see that. I did see the page tease for Jay Garrick, the Flash. I was like, I don't know that I even realized that was happening, or if I did, I'd forgotten it.
Miniseries written by Jeremy Adams. That's going to be interesting.
Dude, he's actually, that makes me really happy because like it felt like his turn on the Flash was kind of over quicker than he wanted, but DC still are like, you are good and we like you, so like you keep writing stuff in this
fans and the fans like you, right? They're reading your stuff, they're enjoying your stuff, and they feel like you're treating our characters right.
Yeah, that's good. I'm happy for him. Sometimes I'm just happy for good writers to keep doing good.
He's a good dude too. He's a good dude. We love him on A Hero Story. He's
Yeah. Anyway, did you watch Ahsoka?
No, I still haven't watched it.
Ahsoka, my nuts in ya. Wow, thanks JD for that. That was so good.
That was really funny. That was JD. I mean, you guys killed it. I gotta say, you guys killed it.
We killed it. Yeah. We killed it. Some really good.
I don't even know how am I going to follow that. And that one joke that,
dude, and I'm surprised that you know about that joke because there's some funny lols in there, and that's what we're about here, really, at A Hero Story. Is we're about lols.
I think so.
We're about the fun of it. Now, Tyler, I have to be honest with you. We're only like 20 seconds into this, and the vibes are already better than it was with JD. I'm not going to lie to you, bro.
Well, you said that JD was late, and what he had he's probably making tea again, and he was like, "Oh God, what do you got for me, man?" I don't know.
He had to do some washing. There was some washing involved.
He's quite a character. They're all characters, isn't it?
But that's what we like here is that we play like in our like in the daytime in our day jobs we're not like this at all. Like I'm straight down the line.
No, definitely not.
I'm all business.
Couldn't get away with it.
And you're
not in today's woke world.
Oh no, God damn it. Okay. So Tyler,
So I have a quick question about this. Do you have questions? Is that how this is going to work?
Not really. Like, okay. Do you want to know the extent of my questions? I can give you the exact same ones.
What's 1 + 1?
Do you want to know what they were? And unfortunately, yes. I did them with JD, but well, I did one of them.
Unfortunately,
I did some. What's your least favorite? What's your big favorite? But I was like, fuck that, and we didn't do it. But I did do an impromptu fuck, marry, kill based off of characters that I think that he knows.
Oh, okay.
Right. Do you want to wait till the episode comes out, or would you like to know some examples?
I would like to know the examples.
Okay,
I'll do them.
I gave him Linda Park, I gave
Okay, I'm
him
aware of who that is.
I gave him that Flash from Chain Lightning that's like a woman, but she's all energy and she's like a
All
naked
right, you've
fireball.
lost me. You lost
Yeah.
me.
And
Yeah.
Girder, the like 10-foot tall metal Flash villain that like is nuts and bolts and girders.
I don't know how you guys like this character.
We don't the Flash.
I don't know if I'll ever get it. Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever get it.
I don't, or I do. Actually,
He just runs.
a Flash. There's a Flash statue of it.
Ugh. What's wrong with you?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He just runs.
I'm sorry.
That's all he does.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did have to read a Green Lantern and Flash issue for yesterday that I actually read it and spoke to JD about it, which was
You read the Green Lantern issue? I didn't
read-
even read the Green Lantern
I
issue.
read the
They
Green
gave it to
Lantern
me. Yo, they gave it to me at the store yesterday, and it's $5. And I put it the fuck back. I
How
said
much is that
no.
in Australia?
But $5 for 23 pages
Mm.
of something that I will not remember 10 seconds after I read it.
Hey Siri, what is 5 USD in AUD?
Here we go.
That's $8. It's $7.94.
I can't believe you're serious Australian. It's $7.98.
Shut up.
My Sirius sounds nothing like that. Wow.
I don't
guess
know.
that's cultural. I mean, yeah.
What am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do
I don't
about
know.
it?
I guess it's honest, isn't it? It's real to you. That's how your life is. That's the Siri you would recognize.
Can you like show yourself a little bit more? Like, I just want to see like that. That's a nice. Is it like a knitted long sleeve?
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of soft sweaterish kind of
That's
thing. It's
nice.
nice.
That's a
Comfy.
vibe.
Yeah.
I was saying to JD that I was going back on old episodes. This is going to be so redundant for the listeners because they're going to listen to me have the same conversation
Twice,
three
okay.
times. But I
Three times, right.
I was telling him that like going back on old episodes, like Hunter sort of fluctuates week to week what he looks like. JD looks the same based off of like he's just younger and maybe like he gets a little bit more ripped over time, and then I am 1 week like the fattest Harper and then slightly less fat. And then I just gradually look less shit over time. You have looked the same since the beginning and you have not changed.
People say this about me like in my regular life, that if I sent you a picture of me from like high school or me from yesterday, you'd probably not be able to tell the difference.
No, you
high school was
graceful. Oh, wait,
I mean, like it wasn't 22, so it's like high school was 4 years ago. It's not that long, but like still. It's still like, I mean, I know people that were like that in high school that look so different right now. Like I would never recognize them, you know?
I think I looked mostly the same.
I got pictures of you in high school. I mean, we've all gone around the I don't know. You look the same. I think
yeah, you do have pictures
mostly
of me in high school, don't you? Yeah, it's just like clean shaven and a far worse beard because I couldn't grow it all. It was like a goatee. It looked like shit. Anyway, tell me about your adventures in New York, Tyler.
Oh, today? Let me think.
Yes.
What did I do today? So I got on the bus, as you do, and I was riding into the great old city of New York.
Bussing?
I was bussing. Yeah, I was bussing.
Cool, cool.
So I always like to get off the bus at Washington Square Park. Once again, big arch. Love that place. And I like to walk through. I like to look at the people, like the people watch. I sit. I kind of observe. I look around. Maybe there's a guy writing poems. Maybe there's some art up. You know, I like to look around.
Fucking New York,
and then
so New York.
I saw the movie The Royal Hotel, which is about two Canadian backpackers that go to Australia to escape. And it turns out that Australia is evil, which, I mean, we all knew. Listen, it's one of those movies where like it's pretty good, but then the characters make certain decisions where you're like, it's never been easier to victim blame than it is in this moment. You know what I mean? Or it's like, why did you do that? Like if you did that decision in real life, you're doing that knowing full well you will die. And like these people will murder you and you still did it. And then the characters are like, and I'm like, you almost deserve it, bro. like you know what I mean? It was one of those, right?
Okay.
It was a good movie though. And then I just started walking. I was just I don't know. I kind of get into a trance sometimes. The street just becomes like all the way down. It's like in Doctor
Strange. Put your hand up
when,
like this. and you
Yeah,
just
no, I'm
sort of
saying it's like when it is kind of like that. Yeah, I'm moving down the streets like this, but I'm saying it's like in Doctor Strange when he's running and then Mads elongates.
oh
the,
yeah,
the
elongates
way.
the
Yeah.
hallway.
That's just how I see the street. So I just keep walking. I know I ran into some shit. I had a donut. It was all right. You know, it's a normal day.
You also went into a comic book store and
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
Midtown Comics, 42nd Street. I was just around because I wanted to see what was going on in Times Square because there's stuff going on in the world and people are reacting to it all around the world, and so
Mm.
I just wanted to see what was going
Do you
on.
want to elaborate on that?
No, I don't. And I went to Midtown Comics. I'd also gone to Forbidden Planet earlier in the day, and I love Forbidden Planet. But I went to Midtown Comics and I saw a gigantic line, and I was like, oh, there must be a signing because it's also New York Comic Con is this weekend, so everyone is here, right?
Mm.
So I saw a gigantic line outside Midtown Comics, and I asked the guy because you can go in if there's a signing, you just obviously can't get anything signed because you'd have to go to the back of the line, right? But I went in, I asked the dude, I was like, who's like signing right now? Like, what's going on? And he goes, oh, you know, the like the Transformers guys or whatever. And I went, you gotta be kidding me right now. Daniel Warren Johnson. He went, yeah, you could buy an issue, you could get on the back of the line. And I was like, the line was so long, by the way. It was like all the way down the block. And I was just like, Daniel Warren Johnson. And listen, Josh Williamson was there. Every person from that universe was there, the Energon universe. But Daniel Warren Johnson was in that store. He was upstairs. I saw him, and I was unprepared. And I've never been more annoyed. It's like I'm prepared right now because like Transformers is always on my desk, but I wasn't prepared when he was there.
Yes, and he was just random. Like the fact that you walked in there and it's just like, oh, what are you're here?
Yeah, I said to the guy, I said, who's signing? And he goes, just the Transformers guys. And my heart, I was just like, no, I hope he doesn't say that Daniel Warren Johnson's there. I love
You're
Daniel
like, please
Warren
say
Johnson.
Anyone else, bro.
Yeah, because he just said Daniel Warren Johnson. I walk upstairs and I saw Joshua Williamson. I was like, wait a minute, like what the hell's going on?
You're like, that's
here?
cool, but
yeah, man. And he was wearing a Halloween shirt. Did you see that? I sent in the chat.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
What?
Michael Myers Halloween shirt. Yeah. Cool guy. Fuck. Daniel Warren Johnson.
Fuck.
Got to get him on the podcast one day.
He feels like someone that we definitely could get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he the mystery guest for 250?
Is there a mystery guest for 250?
That's also a good question. Is there a mystery guest?
Is anything happening for 250?
And yeah, not only is that like, are we playing with the audience to say, is there or is there not? We're not sure. Like,
yeah,
maybe.
you know, the Hunter loves to promote it, and he goes, "Guys, you want to say anything more about 250?" I'm like, no.
Yeah, like
no,
because there is actually not much more to say. There's the one thing
we kind of said it all, even though we haven't said anything.
There's the one thing that might happen, and then there's the other stupid part of it that will happen. That, like, there's nothing to say.
Yeah,
man. Did Helen
I have a question for you?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have a question for you. Actually,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this on the bus.
Oh God.
This is going to be a grand question. Are you ready for it?
Is it another grand theory?
No. We're staying in the realm of what stuff we normally talk about, at least you and me. I want to know, because I've said, I've gone out on a limb and I've said that I think Peter Parker is the best character ever.
Right.
Who do you think is the best character ever?
I feel like if I give, I think you might.
I feel like I know.
Yeah, and I feel like you would stab me to death for it. I feel like you would.
Just say it.
Oh.
Just say it. We all know you're thinking Dark Knight Rises Bane. Do you feel in charge?
But like, okay, so like in the tier list of in the top 8 of my favorites, that this character is
favorites is fiction. It's not just comic books or movies or whatever. It's just fiction, flat out, right?
Yeah, but it's it's.
Can I guess top 8? I'm gonna guess a couple characters, right? I'm gonna throw some out. So
guess what you think I'm gonna say is my who I think
Skywalker.
is the yes.
Yeah. Obviously, it's Anakin Skywalker. Are you serious?
Yeah,
I knew that before I even asked the question.
Okay, good.
Anakin Skywalker, Tony Stark.
Yes.
Wally West still there? Yeah, right.
He's currently not on, but
he fluctuates.
He's a fluctuator. Yeah, like he could make it.
Thrawn's is Thrawn top 8? Thrawn's top 8.
Thrawn's top 8, baby.
Rick
Thrawn's like
Grimes.
Correct.
Is Hunter Zolomon there?
Nope.
Oh, Michael Myers? Does that count?
He's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he's not really. He's not really a character.
Oh man, how many did I just name? I don't even know. 4 or 5.
Okay, so you said
Rick Grimes, Anakin Skywalker, Wally West, Tony Stark.
Now
Maybe
take Wally West off.
Tony Stark,
Yeah.
Thrawn, 4.
Thrawn, yeah, okay.
Oh man, I don't even. Now I'm lost. Is it
Thing that
Tana?
no,
Not anymore.
there's 2 that are like really quite key that I'm surprised you haven't gotten.
Are they also Star Wars? Obi-Wan?
No, nope.
Oi, mate.
Oi, mate.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
Yes, but also,
Idiot. But also,
did you say the other big comic book one? Like I have like my top 3 comic book guys.
I said Rick Grimes.
Oh well, Rick Grimes. Yeah, okay, fair point. Yeah, but like the other one is probably a step above.
Oh no, I don't even know.
Dude,
Miles
dude.
Morales?
No, dude.
No,
dude.
You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah,
Daredevil.
oh yeah, right, Daredevil.
Come on, so it's the boys in red,
yeah.
bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
How could I forget that?
I don't know.
But okay, so I want to ask you why Anakin Skywalker. I want the argument now. I actually want it. You know that. So we have this discussion pretty much weekly in the chat, and the audience doesn't know about this. Where I say I just don't get Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah.
I just don't get it. And you go, he's the best character ever.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I don't get it, man. He's a weird stalker guy, and he's like a bit of a psychopath. And I get that he, was a slave as a kid, so he's not the most mentally, well put together. But he's still a weirdo. Yeah. And I don't know if I like him. He makes me uncomfortable, and he makes Padme uncomfortable. And and you love him, and everyone loves him. And listen, we saw him in Ahsoka, and even I loved him. I want to know the argument.
The way I look at Anakin Skywalker is I look at Anakin Skywalker very much on the whole, right? So a lot of things
you don't just think of Anakin or Vader. You
no, it is
he's
one line from
it's one
Anakin
character arc. He doesn't become a different character. To a lot of people, they're separate.
Yeah,
but it's one arc.
I've always thought that was stupid, and I think that's also reinforced by fucking everything that he seems to appear in. Where has there been a Vader story since like Disney took over, and we've gotten a lot of good Vader stories? Has there been a single one where he's
the best Vader stories?
I 100% agree. I think that's actually one of the a surprisingly non-controversial take is Vader's handling.
Post Disney Vader is like, I think because they know he's the guy. He's the main character.
You can't fuck it up. But like that's the thing. My Vader, like if you go back to the original trilogy, like that the conflict is always there. The Anakin shit is always there. Like it's always, but he's not loyal to the Emperor. He never was. He wants his son. He wants his kids. But he's twisted up in what he actually wants for them. And it's until Return of the Jedi when he's faced with, going down the dark path with or without his son that he's like, no, fuck this. Like, no way. No, like,
I never liked that guy anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But like Anakin for me is, I think it's hard to separate my love from growing up with the Clone Wars and then not feeding that back into, like, I can't remember Anakin being just a movie character in my mind. Anakin has always been like the two, he's always been live action and animated in my brain.
I see.
So those have been fused together my whole life. So when I love Hayden Revenge of the Sith. I do think Attack of the Clones is Attack of the Clones is Attack of the Clones across the board. it's Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
So
listen, it's the prequels. It's the arguments have been made. As much as I don't like them, I still love them. Like I get it. I do get it.
Yes.
I just like when because like the debate still lives to today. 20 years past his casting, was he cast? Was this the right guy for the role?
Yes.
Right. The question still exists.
Yes.
And we see him more and more today, and it's more like he's, I guess, grown into the role better. Right.
That's true. That's true.
You almost wonder like what it would be like if modern Hayden Christensen played, him back then. You almost wonder like, oh, would that have been better? But I just always feel like every time I watch the prequels and then or the original trilogy and I see Vader and I just think about his story, I just think like they just messed it up.
Nah.
I think this every time I think about
the prequels.
I just think like we accept it. It is the story now, and there's good parts to it, But in broad strokes, I think they just kind of fucked it up.
Well, it's interesting to like as someone who thinks I think Phantom Menace is a fucking waste of time. I don't know if that's a hot
but
take.
it's so much fun though.
I think that movie is a fucking waste of
No,
time.
yeah.
I think
I
Attack
mean,
of the Clones.
it's you know the people say that the Phantom Menace is the most disappointing movie ever made. So it's not. I don't think it's a hot take.
Okay, well, fair enough. I know, but some people go, "Oh, there's a lot of good," and I'm like, "Is there a
No,
lot of good?"
because they were 5 years old in 1999. You know.
Yeah, fair boy. Wait, was I 5 years old? No, I was born in 97.
Yeah, I was negative. I wasn't even alive. So.
I was like, how old am I really? But I don't know. It's the prequels themselves. I mean, I really like Attack of the Clones is like a guilty pleasure fun movie that I watch, but I'm not attached to in terms of like if this movie is bad, therefore it undermines my
doesn't
my
make
love.
any sense.
And it's just it's like it is like a
I know that like I know this will be the hot take, but like I don't think that any of the Disney movies are worse than that movie. At least, like at least made like if we're talking about like on a purely like how they framed the shit in the camera and wrote the movie, like I just think Attack of the Clones is a mess.
You say that.
Who
but,
like what's the Cypher Diaz thing and the
well, if you
Kaminoans
watch the Clone Wars season,
I did. I did, and I still kind of don't get it.
Yeah, no, it is.
Dooku's cool. We all know this. Dooku is dope. There we go. He's a count.
Yeah. No, he's sick.
I didn't even realize like I remember my roommate and I were talking about this once, and we were just like, "Who's like the richest guy in the Star Wars universe?" And we looked it up, and it was Count Dooku. Like,
of course, yeah.
It's
leader
Count
of the Separatist
Dooku.
army in his fucking castle, being the Count.
Exactly. Yeah,
Christophsis
the richest
or whatever.
guy. Yeah, like of course he is. Yeah, you didn't even think about that. He's great. He's sick.
I'm gonna get tortured alive if I've just gotten that small piece of information wrong.
What?
If he's like the Count and leader of Christophsis.
Christophsis, right? Don't they go there? I don't remember. I don't know. They, I do know though. I saw this today. I saw like a a discussion of people asking, and I want to know your opinions on this because I thought this was kind of cool. So it was people that were alive pre the prequels, what they thought the Jedi were, like fans, right?
Interesting.
And I want to know your thoughts on this because I'm almost like, the Jedi are whatever, and they are what they are, and I think they suck. Because the movies tell us they suck.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But they've been deified and they've been like, oh, it's awesome. The Jedi Order, all this, it's whatever, right? But somebody said that they assumed that Jedi Knights were like, think of samurai in the feudal system. They worked for a house. So grand houses would have Jedis. That's why Leia says, your father served with mine during the Clone Wars. Like, your father worked with my father because he was a Jedi Knight.
Right.
Yeah, right? And I think that idea is kind of awesome. Like that's the samurai aspect of the Jedi. That's like the wanderer Jedi.
I guess that's what Filoni has like turned some of his shit into. Like he's taken.
That's like what Ahsoka is. Ahsoka is like the samurai.
Dude,
like in terms of Jedi characters.
Dude,
I don't even. Can we get into Ahsoka on this?
Dude. Perhaps this is where a Ronin such as you belongs.
Yeah, even just calling her a Ronin.
That's
like,
the coolest
dude,
shit.
I went back and I started watching some samurai movies because of that show. Like, it's just on point, dude.
Yeah, good.
And you know what else I started watching yesterday? I don't know if you get this as well. Every time I see something good in Star Wars, I go, I gotta rewatch Andor. So I rewatched Rick's Road yesterday.
Fuck yes.
I rewatched Rick's Road yesterday, the finale.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a fucking masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
That could be the best hour in the history of Star Wars. That could be, oh my God. Marva's speech, and it just adds and adds and it compounds and it gets so much better. Oh my God.
Again, we talked about Andor like
because I think about Andor daily. I think about it.
It's good. It's too good to be Star Wars.
There's nobody I know in my life that I have not sung the praises of Andor to.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to sell it to everyone, even if they don't like Star Wars. I'm like, dude, this show's like not stupid. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's not stupid. Like that's the thing. It's hard to. How do you go?
Yeah,
it's hard to be like, no, but you don't understand. It's like it's like Breaking Bad or Better Call
But just
Saul
imagine a
quality.
really good
If it-
TV
yeah,
show.
imagine TV but good, but it's also Star Wars, and for
Star
some
Wars.
reason those don't mesh. Like you can't
Yeah.
like, put them
Because
together.
like when you look at Ahsoka, it's like Ahsoka's awesome, but it's the stupidest shit ever. There's a space witch and she's got a flaming sword and she's
Yeah,
fighting
but
a
it
Jedi
need it
samurai and they're
needs
trying to
be.
escape from
Like,
another
that's the
galaxy on the
good thing
back
about it. Yeah.
of whales. Yeah, and that's Star Wars, right? That is Star Wars. But Andor, fuck all that. We got
Yeah.
guns and we got guilt. Like that's all. That's
Yeah.
all we have. That's it.
Yeah. But like
So good.
Andor is, I think, underrated for the amount of Star Wars. Like it is so Star Wars. It's
Yeah.
Andor to me is all of the stuff that people like about Star Wars in comic books and in books, but on the screen.
On the screen.
Because it
Yeah,
always
like the
feels like
nuance and
yeah,
stuff.
like live action and maybe even animation. Like it has to be fun and pulpy and silly and stupid, and you can also have depth within that, but it's still fun and
Yeah.
pulpy and silly and stupid. Whereas some of like the books are just like cover to cover this serious dramatic story,
Yes.
and you've got fun Star
I-
Wars shit in there,
yeah.
but it's like
It almost
it
makes
could
me
not
like
be Star Wars. It could
yeah,
be.
I saw an excerpt from the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, which everyone has forever said
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like the
yeah.
best way to experience that story. I still have not read it or like heard about it or anything like that. But I saw one line from it and I was sold immediately. I was like, dude, I have to know how much better this story is like
is
this.
in book form. Yeah,
It said something like, it said Kenobi and Skywalker nearly like melded as one word. Everyone knew it across the galaxy, Kenobi and Skywalker. And I'm like, oh my
that
God,
is
like
so sick.
that is sick.
Goes
like
so
it's like
hard.
nearly one word, Kenobi and Skywalker.
Is the
Everyone knows them.
novelization the one where
I have no idea.
I
You're
believe
about to ask. I have no idea.
doesn't Newt Gunray says the Emperor promised us peace, and then Anakin says he promised you in pieces, and then he cuts him up.
Is that a real line in that book?
I'm pretty sure.
That's awesome, dude. Alan Dean Foster, right? That's
Yes,
the guy.
yeah. I
He
mean,
wrote
dude,
all of
Splinter
it.
of the
Wrote the
Mind's
Batman
Eye and
89
shit,
book.
bro. Yeah, it's
Splinter.
crazy.
Oh my God, he's been there since day one.
He's
Yeah,
been there
Splinter of the
since
Mind's
like
Eye.
the beginning of the EU.
Yeah.
Like anything expanded out is him. Which
That's
is
crazy, yeah.
So anyway, Anakin Skywalker is the best Star Wars character. I think it's
Yeah.
like the symbolic aspect of Anakin. I think the thread from like everything pulls around him, and I know that annoys people sometimes that it always comes back to Anakin.
No, I
and
think you
Vader
need a
and blah, blah,
character like that.
But
I think every
I
universe has that character. I think you just have to think
it's
about
weird.
that.
It's weird though, because like I think I enjoy this like the story of this kid that's like like where he comes from and then indoctrinated into the Jedi, and he's so confused and so lost. And I also love
Mhm.
like even though it's only good in the Clone Wars, it's not really good in the movies at all. But like him then having this romance and like, what is he supposed to do with it? Does he,
Yeah.
he's so loyal to the Jedi because it's all he's ever known, but also like he's found something more
And they
important.
treat
than
him
that.
like shit anyway as well.
They do, yeah. And I love that.
They
I
use him and
attach to
abuse
that
him.
idea, and I attach to his character and
Yeah.
his frustrations more than I do like a Luke, because Luke is always just so good. Luke is always good. You know what I mean? Until he tries to kill his
Interesting.
nephew.
I think. Oh, don't you go there?
Sorry,
Don't
sorry.
you dare.
Sorry. Oh, look.
I think
there he is.
Oh, I think that when I think of Anakin, I've just now realized, like, post a world where I've read Dune, I'm like, oh, he's just Paul Atreides. Like, I think that what I like about Anakin, out of everything that I don't like about Anakin, what I do like about Anakin is that he's like, kind of, it's a subversion of the Chosen One prophecy, like in the way. So I like Dune. I like Paul in Dune because he is the chosen one and it's forced upon him and it's wrong. And him being the chosen one destroys the galaxy actually, and it's he goes way too far in the wrong directions, and it's because of the pressure they've put upon him from birth. And I love that. That's such a great idea, right? And I think that is Anakin Skywalker, right?
Pretty
Like
much,
Anakin
yeah.
Skywalker is the chosen one. He's the prince that they've chosen, and they've said he's going to fix the problems. And he wasn't. And like he was technically, but like in the moments where it mattered, he fell and he gave in, and that's awesome.
Because
like when the hero falls, right? Like
exactly.
that is awesome, and it's awesome. It's awesome in like a mythological sense. Like I love that is the story of Star Wars. Again, I just think like the intricacies of it, man.
I think that's why like the stuff that Dave did with Anakin in the Clone Wars, and then even in Ahsoka, to like it's not all it's not all Anakin is the best now, and he's like the happiest he's ever been, and blah blah blah. Like, no, he's on the other side of being Vader, but he's still using what he became to teach lessons to Ahsoka and watch
Yeah.
over her because of his fall. Like, it's always going to be a part of him. But like he says, he's like, you're more than that because I'm more than that. I'm not just this and I'm not just that. I'm
Yeah.
somewhere in between. I do like that idea that like people treat him as though he is the, some sort of representation within the Force of that
Yeah.
that idea of balance, like
Chosen
actual
one.
balance, because Star Wars balance isn't really balance. It's
And do you think
it's bad
Yeah.
is dead and good is taken over, which whatever. But
and,
I like.
and do you think that the story, real quick, do you think the story might have been better if they didn't confirm he was the chosen one? I hate the chosen one prophecy. I know
Yeah,
we've
no, I
also
know.
gone about this. I think it
Yes.
sucks. I think it's like completely
don't-
unnecessary. We don't even think about the fact that he's a virgin birth.
Yeah, that's
like
stupid.
that's
It's
goofy
dumb.
as hell.
It
Like I
is
don't
goofy
like
stuff.
any
I
of
also
that.
don't. I also am of the belief that it's just horse shit.
Yeah, and I want to believe that too, but Star Wars has told us that
I know what you mean.
he
No, but in
is
Star Wars,
cosmically
canonically,
the
he is.
chosen
Yes, yeah.
one.
No,
Yeah, and
I think
that's
the
silly.
chosen one aspect of it, I think, could not be there, and it wouldn't. I still think the
Yeah.
idea that he is. You can still do like the Mortis episodes where he is like the center and pulling everything together, and the allegory of the chosen one without directly saying, or like directly having the Jedi go, he's the
Yeah.
chosen one and we've got to train him.
I also like the idea that maybe they were just wrong. Like I like the idea that maybe Qui-Gon was just wrong about this guy. Like,
Yeah.
like he thought he was because they wanted the chosen one so badly or whatever. You know?
I do like that aspect, and I like that aspect of Rebels. I like that Obi-Wan has seen all of it and has been like, no, it wasn't Anakin.
Yeah.
It's probably his
And
son. It's probably Luke.
Yeah, and I think yeah, exactly. That's and he tells Maul, right? Isn't the
Maul,
last
yeah.
what is his last words to Maul? He says he will avenge us.
He will avenge us. Yeah,
and them sharing that moment where they've both been betrayed by the Order, and they're both kind of sitting there and they're just like, he will avenge
Tell me
us. He will avenge all of the injustice that we've been through. Yeah, and it's Luke. That's fucking sick. I love that.
Yeah.
And
But
I do love Luke Skywalker
Mm.
a lot. Like I don't think he's I don't see I guess I have this issue because in Star Wars I don't gravitate towards those, like it's Luke and it's Anakin. One day people will also throw Rey in there, but we're not ready for that yet. We're not there in the fandom yet.
Yeah.
But it's really Luke and Anakin, right? Like they're the two big characters in
Mm.
Star Wars. It's kind of all about those two. And I love Luke and I love his story, but I was never like really attached. He was never like my hero or anything like that, right? But I do love Luke. Like I love his story.
Luke.
I love it all. I love like the suit. I love the lightsaber.
Oh, guess what?
What?
We've hit
10 minutes
We've
left. I
got
see
10
it. I
minutes
see
to
time
go.
limit.
Do you see the timer?
I do. But I love Luke Skywalker, and I do love his story and how it ends up and everything like that. I just think it's just beautiful. But yeah, I don't really like. I guess there's just a missing emotional aspect to it. Like I do love that character, but I don't like I wasn't crying when he showed up in Mandalorian. Like I know people did.
Oh,
right. I wasn't.
Yeah,
crying.
see, that's funny because
I was just kind of mind blown.
I wouldn't say that I'm the biggest like Luke, but well, I think I am. I'm just not as big as like some others. Like he's definitely he's like he's like I was gonna say he's in the top 5. He's probably top 3. It's probably Anakin.
We're talking about Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, it is Luke Skywalker. Like
who like in reality is the real chosen one in terms of like Star Wars the story.
Anakin does not seek redemption without his son.
Yeah, exactly. Like Luke is the biggest part of the Star Wars story. I think.
Yeah, he is. 100%. He is. 100%.
It's all about him. It's all about both of them. I mean, the Skywalker saga, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I love Luke, but I think the characters I relate to the most, or maybe not even relate to, because I don't know if you relate to Darth Vader necessarily.
I don't relate to Darth. I think I just you know that my favorite archetype of characters is damaged, morally gray characters that fall and then rise and then blah blah blah. And I get a lot of that in Anakin, and I understand when people go, I don't like the performance in such and such, but I think it's all melded together in my mind that I can't look at Clone Wars or Revenge of the Sith or any individual thing without looking at it all together. When I watch Revenge of the Sith now and I see Anakin, to me that is the like I remember you've said before, it's hard for you to connect like Clone Wars Anakin,
Animation
watch Revenge of
Anakin,
the Sith.
yeah.
But to
And I
me,
still kinda can't.
they are so melded together in my
Like,
brain.
Yeah, even post Ahsoka, like I see now that Hayden could play that Anakin. I just still have a hard time believing there's the same person.
Mm.
You know? What I was gonna say is going back to what you said, I think my favorite archetype for a character is a character who's like who wants to do good and like genuinely wants to be a hero, but then they're constantly tempted by the evil and the dark
Yes.
side, and
Yeah.
sometimes they give in
Yes.
and they
Yeah.
fail and they have to rise from it. And I think that's why I like Luke so much, because
That's
he's just
similar. That's similar to
always
the
that.
kind of shit that that's very similar to the kind
Yeah.
of characters I like.
But like,
Yeah.
because Luke, I like, you know, it always ends up at the Last Jedi with Luke Skywalker's discussions, right? But like,
Yes, it does.
I like, I just saw this comment, and we're not gonna get into like the people are wrong, because I don't think people are wrong. It's, you know, it's your opinions, whatever. But I saw a comment of someone that said like about the Luke almost killing Kylo Ren thing, which he didn't almost kill him, because if he wanted to kill him, he would have killed him. He turned on his lightsaber and he felt really bad about it 5 seconds later.
It was a fleeting
Yeah.
thought.
Somebody said, "Oh, Luke Skywalker, yeah, he always gives into his impulses." Sure, remember when he was at Dagobah and Yoda told him not to do he was getting dreams and Yoda told him not to do it. Like Luke would never give into his impulses. And I'm like, he left the training.
Yes. He left the training.
That dude paused the movie at that point. He didn't wait and see that Luke actually did give into his impulses.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's interesting when you look at it like that. I think Luke Skywalker, and I think his arc in The Last Jedi is kind of about this. He has been deified by the fans as much as he has been in the movie, and it's kind of hard to reconcile the fact that he is really just a very normal guy.
He's just a
with
dude.
The fact that he is the hero of billions of people, right? And I think that's what the character arc is about in The Last Jedi.
100%.
I understand that a lot of people, you know, don't want that, don't need that. It's whatever, right? But
I've told you my
that's
biggest
awesome.
problem with the way it's presented is
beautiful.
the fact that it's like 1 hour and 4 minutes into the movie, he stops showing up, and then it's like the 2 hour mark before he shows up again. And I'm like, that's not. I know that story isn't about him specifically, but to tell this story in that level, in that depth, you need more of him, and you need to tell it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like he
it.
cameos throughout the movie to tell this story, but you don't feel it as much as like I want
the Yoda scene though.
Oh, that Yoda scene is pretty sick.
I love
it actually is legitimately the best scene in that movie.
God.
It's fucking
yes, of
excellent.
Course it is, dude.
Yeah.
The greatest teacher failure is.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's my favorite
that
line in Star Wars.
But that's what annoys. We've had this conversation before too.
Billions.
That's what annoys me about
Billions
Rise of Skywalker when he shows up and he goes, "I was wrong," and people go, "There we go." That's the arc that he learns. In the
he
Last
knew
Jedi.
that, guys.
Yes.
Come on,
Like,
media literacy. What are we doing?
They're
Why
not
don't we know this thing?
They're not retconning the Last Jedi by saying I was wrong. We know he was wrong because he was wrong.
He knows
in the last
he was
movie.
wrong.
He
Yeah.
shows up. I mean,
and I guess that's
show
it,
up,
right?
But he shows
it's
up
like,
at Crate.
In extended universe, Luke Skywalker is this guy who he starts the Jedi Order and he starts shooting black holes out of his hands because he's so powerful in the Force, and he can crush adepts just like by doing this with his hands. And I'm like, I think that sucks.
Yes,
I think like once you're at that point, you've kind of just gotten so far from what the character originally was that it's like, what are we even doing here, right?
But people do the same shit with Vader. They go, "Oh, Vader's done this incredibly strong thing," and I'm like, "Yeah, that is cool." But the coolest part is the conflict within that character.
They do that with Batman. They do that with the Flash. They do that that's just how this works, right? Like it's just the feats and the character.
Yeah,
you know, they love the trading cards with all the stats on them.
That's it.
Right?
That's it. And that's
what
not,
it is. They're trading card
not,
people.
That's not love. That's not passion.
And that's also not story. You know, that's not this. They're not telling you a story when he goes like, "Oh, I'm so powerful." They're telling you a story when he's like, "Oh, I'm so sad." You know, like that's what we like about it.
Yeah,
I don't care that he could do any of this shit. That's why I don't even really like Starkiller in the games is a whole different conversation. He does have an interesting character arc, but just the idea that character could do all that stuff, I just think like for a video game that's cool, but in anything else,
it's also
why would you even want that character to exist in the first place?
It's also the only thing that people bring up about Starkiller is that he's so powerful.
Really strong.
And it's like that's not. No.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I think that's
and like when people talk about it, they go like, "Oh, if they bring in Starkiller, they'd have to like dumb down his powers. So like, what's even the point?" It's like, well,
yeah,
what
exactly.
do you want? Play the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. like that could only exist in a video game because that's what video games exist to do, is give you that power that of like that you are this most powerful force user. That's not sustainable in a story because then he could just do anything. Like at what point can Starkiller use the force and like turn back time
Hey,
or
did
something
you finish
like that,
Jedi Survivor? Did you?
I did finish Jedi Survivor.
Dude.
And when it ended, I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
that was an amazing story.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. But when you embrace the darkness, they call it, when you're on the fucking dude,
yeah,
that is crazy.
I guess spoiler alert right here,
Yes.
but when Bode betrayed me,
Mhm.
oh my god, I wanted blood, dude. I was so mad. I couldn't believe it. I could
because you
not
think at the start you're
believe
like, can I trust this guy? And then you spend
Yeah.
the whole game like, I guess I can. And then
I never
when you
liked him. To be
finally-
fair,
yeah.
I was kind of always sus about him. But yeah, when I finally settled into him, I was just like, all right, okay, Bo, you're part of the team, I guess. Fuck it. He was evil, and now we're raising his kid. I'm just
Yep.
like, all right, I guess we're saddled with this, and that's really cool. I love that. That's actually so cool. Who killed Bode? Was it Cal? I don't remember.
Yeah, he shoots him
Right. Yes,
in the
and in
chest.
front of
in front of his
yeah.
daughter.
Yeah, which is I'm excited to see part 3 for that. That's
So
quite
good,
the
dude.
Empire
Cal
Strikes
and
Back.
Marin romance. It's all I wanted. I was
Yes.
so happy.
I love. Are we gonna get Cal Kestis in live action?
I mean, we
Sorry,
should.
when are we gonna get Cal?
Yeah,
Kestis
correct.
In live
Yeah,
action?
eventually.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Now,
That's a
Torres,
club shido if there's ever been. But yeah,
I've
Yes.
got a question for you.
Harper.
Oh,
yeah, we got 90 seconds left.
Well, that was part of the question. Now, do you feel
Oh.
like you've extensively covered the things that you want to talk about, or do you want more time?
No, I think I've gone over it.
Okay. So my question to you is, did you like Ahsoka?
I really did, yes.
Ahsoka, my nuts in you. Well, thank you, Tyler. That was such a good segment. Can we get a round of applause for Tyler?
Good job, Tyler.
Round of applause for Tyler. And
Good
now
job,
we're joined by our third guest of the day, Canadian extraordinaire, genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, Hunter Cole Murray. Hunter, say a few things for me, brother.
Hi, I am everything you said except for 2 of them. And I'll let the audience decide what those 2 I am not. And I don't know what else to say. This is very different that we're doing this.
It is very different. Would you like me to let on how the previous 2 segments have gone?
Sure. Yeah, briefly, I guess, because I guess everyone listening has heard it.
Yes, they have. We just chatted a bit of shit.
Oh,
just chatted shit. What's his name? JD and I talked about the Flash and Green Lantern. Tyler and I talked about Star Wars, and you and I are going to talk about the economic state of the US economy. Yeah, boy, I really look forward to looking back on this footage because you are glitchy as fuck. So that's great for me. Is the audience going to see? Hi, audience. For once, it's me who's not glitching because I'm the one recording. How do you guys feel about this? Maybe we could just do the Harper show because Hunter's gone. And it doesn't feel that different, does it? It actually just feels kind of fine.
Sound okay?
Oh, he's back. Maybe he's back.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, Hunter?
Yeah,
it's put things.
It's kind of. I mean, we are, and we don't.
Yeah, sure. This has put things in perspective because Tyler and I didn't have a problem, and JD and I didn't have a problem, but I'm going to say that every time now that one of us has had problems in the past, it's because you're recording and you are the problem, which is good because you are generally the host.
Yeah, well, I'm always the host, essentially. Why me?
I don't know. I would literally be happy to do it every week, but I mean, we have just done it because you do it.
Okay, we'll talk behind the scenes.
Oh, okay. That's a bit of a story behind
it might work out in the end because I'm OB from Loki right now. Like I have like tools and everything, broken podcast equipment. I have wires everywhere. I don't even have an iMac, but this is here.
I think I'm gonna buy a new webcam. I think this webcam's all right, but after seeing the joys of the MacBook webcam, I kind of want that. But the problem is that the problem with that webcam is like if I swap to it, it's very directional. You know, it's like right here.
It looks like you're about to do like an interview.
It's like, yeah, yeah, or it looks like I'm in a business Zoom meeting. Like, you know,
Yeah.
remove the microphone. It looks like, you know, I've never been on a Zoom meeting in my life. Whereas this angle feels far more professional, though it is fun to swap between them.
Because then you only look at the camera when you're directing the audience. Yeah, I get it.
Hunter.
Yes.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Is that what you did with the others?
Linda Park.
CW or comic?
Both. Linda Park.
Okay. Yeah.
That Flash from Chain Lightning that is like a fireball lady, but she's nude and she's like just energy.
I don't think I know what you're talking about there.
Or Gerda, the 10-foot tall metal Gerda nuts and bolts Flash villain. Who you got?
Could I do Gerda for all three?
It's probably the best answer so far.
Because I don't know what the second option is. I'm not that big into Flash.
Do you want me to do one that's a bit more specific for you?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Mera.
Okay. I know that.
Aquaman's severed hand.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The deceased Queen of England.
I guess kill the deceased Queen of England because like she's already dead, right? So
yes, but now you've limited
like,
your options to marrying or fucking a hand.
Yeah, no, I'll marry Mera because then I get royalty status.
So you're gonna fuck the hand.
Yeah. But like the Queen of England, like, do I just get a fishing spear and just poke her?
Yeah, no, you have the trident.
From Mera, yeah.
Wow, so Hunter, you're gonna fuck the hand.
No, I'm not. It's just hypothetically.
We're gonna call him Matt Murdock the way he's fucking up the hand.
Hey, one of them is dead,
dude,
and one of them is.
That was a good ass joke. Can you breathe? That was good.
Oh yeah, because
call you Matt Murdock the way you fucking up the hand, bro. That's a bar. That's a bar, dude.
That is true. That is true. That is true. So why was JD so short?
Okay. The reason was because I started the Zoom call, and obviously me with what are we calling it? Zoom Peasant, or whatever the free version is called.
That's the name, yes.
Zoom Peasant. I sent him the link. He took a few minutes to join, and then we took a few minutes before we started recording. And I didn't realize that the 40-minute countdown starts as soon as I open or start the meeting. Like not from the point I start recording. Like, that's why I have to rush to send the link off, because as soon as like I'm in the thing, I'm like, all right, I got to copy the link. I got to send the link off. I got to wait for you to join. And like those 3 minutes are already taken away from this, which is
that makes sense.
So JD said I was short, but like we had sort of wrapped up what we were talking about, and then we were just like, oh, we've only got like a minute and a half left. Oh well, that's it.
I mean, for JD, like, I love you, JD. But usually when we record with him, he always has to like make tea and everything. We watch him go to his kitchen.
He was doing washing. He was like, "Can you hold up? I just got to fold some laundry." And I went, "Sure, man. Like, that's fine."
And then we all just stare at him. Yeah, so, it works. It works. So yeah, I guess I understand that. I thought it was just because you guys couldn't think of anything to talk about. So
well, like I didn't plan anything, and it's kind of, I feel like it's maybe ended up for the better. The one piece of news I brought up, I didn't bring it up with Tyler. I only brought it up with JD. Was the Daredevil being scrapped. Which, like, for me, it's so weird. I talked about this fucking 3 days ago with JD, but like the audience is going to see all of this in one video. It's so strange.
Yeah, we don't have to get into it. If you don't
I have lived so much life in between. Actually, that's not true. I've had a very boring weekend, but like I've lived in between these segments. Like,
you have recorded 3 days in a row.
Yeah, it's fucked, man. It's fucked. But yeah, that was the one piece of news I brought up because I thought it was fascinating that Marvel TV just went, fuck it, this shit ain't working. We're gonna go. Yeah,
they're just gonna say that Foggy and Karen are dead too, like right off the bat.
Yeah, so that was the plan for this one, right? Like the one that got scrapped. Yeah, no. Dude, like,
everybody would hate that.
Yeah, if you don't want to like include them yet necessarily, okay, sure. I mean, like, especially Foggy, please include him. But like the idea of just being like, they're dead and we're starting fresh, I'm like, but it just feels wrong.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, Daredevil hasn't worn the suit in years. It's like, but we saw him in She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, yeah, he was in the mustard suit in She-Hulk. Like, why not?
So But I guess we don't have to get really into that because you did just talk.
We can, you know, we can talk about the very brief snippet we heard about Ultimate Spider-Man, the Jonathan Hickman one, and how it's like
that like just came out here. That news
just came out. I assume we're probably going to talk about that next week because there's no fucking way that Tyler won't want to bring that up. But he's a middle-aged Peter Parker. He's a Peter B. Parker.
And he hasn't been Spider-Man before until now. So he's like a 40-year-old getting bit.
That's like he's literally us.
I mean, yeah, we are in our 40s.
Yeah, like that's crazy, man.
It just goes to show that it can happen to us.
Oh, great.
I kind of like that. I kind of hope
you want to be
a family. I hope that he's.
Oh, I see what you mean. You want him to be like the idealized version of Peter Parker that Peter Parker fans want, where he's kind of like he's not depressed and shit anymore. He's got a family.
Yeah, like maybe have the perfect, because everyone wanted to be like that guy with a good job and he has a daughter and he's married to MJ. Maybe have that without the Spider-Man stuff, and then the Spider-Man stuff comes after that.
Yeah.
Maybe have his villains be active and he's just a civilian experiencing like Dr. Octopus has been a thing for like 10 years or something, but it's just like, oh, it's just a guy that I avoid.
Just, yeah, as you would.
Hey, Spider-Man 2 is out next week. I was going to ask you, are you getting it?
Stupid ass question. Am I getting it?
Are you getting it like next week?
Yeah. I don't know if I'll get the time to play it all in that weekend, but I want to.
Oh,
try.
yeah.
I mean, well,
no,
we won't talk about it until the week after, I suppose.
Well, the week after, I think, is episode 500. Or whoa.
Episode 500?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Where did that time go?
So we have like 2 weeks before we do like a full thing.
Right.
We were doing this podcast, well, not you, but like A Hero Story was a thing when the first game came out, and JD and I reviewed it on the show, and JD beat it in 2 days.
It's not that long. It is short.
It's
not as short maybe as I've sold it in the past. I believe we once talked in a group chat and I said it's like a 6-hour campaign, and you were like, it's not 15. That short. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not that short, but it does feel pretty. It's pretty quick.
But I re-listened to that episode yesterday or the day before. It sucks because we're not as charismatic, but also because I was so early into the game, I couldn't really talk about it.
I do remember this episode. That's right.
JD couldn't either because he didn't want to spoil it. So we were talking. I was asking him just like, do you like Mr. Negative as the main villain? Because I didn't get any Dr. Octopus stuff.
And he's just like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I guess. It's a terrible. Well, I mean, we uploaded that episode, I think, like a week after the game came out, less than. So,
but like,
not everyone had beaten it.
But like, why even bother?
Yeah, exactly. So I think when we talk about Spider-Man 2, we will have all beaten it except for JD because he's not an epic gamer anymore.
No, he's not. He's just a cool man throwing his bachelor parties, drinking champagne in hotel top of roof pools. What do they call those? Rooftop pools.
Is that the official name?
I don't know. None of it sounded right coming out of my mouth, but like seldom does anything sound right coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, those mobile game ads where
but things sound pretty right coming in.
Okay.
Anyway.
Those mobile game ads where like the wife comes home and the husband's cheating on her? It's like, yell, confront them, or join them.
Oh, yes.
JD is that guy that you come home to.
He's the fucking. He said, "That's how mafia works." What is that fucking game?
Yeah. and he's a part of the mafia, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. That's a big accusation to throw out there. What if you?
It's a theory. I've watched videos on it, and I think it could be true. Five Nights at Freddy's movie next week, eh?
Is it really?
Or 2 weeks from now, I guess.
So we're doing Five Nights at Freddy's review for episode 250. That's the reveal. That's what we've been building.
That's the secret. Honestly, we have a worse idea that we're actually doing. So,
well, yeah, we do have a worse idea. I was talking to the other guys about this. Maybe it's the Tyler segment, but the thing that we like want for 250 might just not happen yet. And so what is 250 in that case?
Well, probably something we should talk about outside recording.
No,
because we can't mention it yet. But
no, but you know what I'm saying. It's like
I think
250 is fast approaching, and we're like, yeah, we've got a plan. Do we have a plan?
We do. It's a difficult thing to record, I guess you could say, because it's not just like we sit down and we talk. There's more to it than that.
And I was also thinking, there's every chance that the thing that happens, we might not all be there for, because it might not be regular times.
It's true.
So
yeah, we can't really say what it is.
there we go.
I mean, worst come to well, not worst comes to worst, but if we get to 250 and it's not happening, it's like delayed a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We could always do stuff like Timmy's Talk and D&D.
That's true.
Other stuff until then, and maybe upload those to like Spotify and everything as well, so no one misses anything.
I honestly think we are due for another Timmy's Talk.
So like audio listeners can still listen. And
that's my opinion.
I mean, the last 2 podcasts we did are Timmy's Talk.
Yeah, and this one is kind of Timmy's Talk as well, but still.
Yeah, didn't you and Tyler talk about Star Wars?
Yeah, we talked the entire time about Star Wars. Pretty much. He asked me. He said, right. So Peter Parker's my favorite fictional character. What would you say is yours? And I was like, you know exactly what I'm gonna like. What I think the best fictional character of all time is. And he's
Peter.
like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I know, but I want to hear you say it. So I had to explain, like, who do you think it is, Hunter? Oh, he's gone. Excellent. Hey guys, it's just
Tyler like Superman more than Spider-Man.
No, no. Okay,
love on my end.
don't worry about your end, buddy. What the fuck? You just came back.
There we
and
go.
Hey. No, sorry. I think it wasn't. It wasn't.
That was just nothing was happening.
It wasn't his favorite character. It was what character it was what he thinks the best fictional character of all time is, and that was That was Peter Parker.
But he still likes Superman more?
I assume so, but then he asked me like what I think the best fictional character of all time is, and I said what you probably assume I'm going to say. What do you think it is?
Vader.
Yeah, it's Anakin Skywalker. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, yeah.
That's interesting that you all realize that, despite the fact that he's like not the number one on my list.
Is Iron Man your number one or Daredevil?
Yeah. No, it's Iron Man. It's like Iron Man, Daredevil,
yeah.
Anakin, Doctor Strange, Thrawn,
Dr. Wily from the Mega Man games in the 90s.
No, Dr. Robotnik, actually.
Hey.
No, sorry, I'm stepping on your shit.
Big fan.
You are a big fan. We know. You've told us before. It's come out sometimes.
Yeah, and I will gatekeep it. I will gatekeep this children's franchise.
Isn't that Star Wars as well, though? Like,
I mean, Sonic's a little bit more children.
Probably. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Why did you get fucking next week's comics early again? By the way.
Sometimes, well, I go into my shop and there's like the new release shelf. And sometimes there's just stuff on there where I'm like, that's not out this week. Like, for example, Daredevil issue 2 was on there this week. And so I picked it up and I just brought it over and it was scanned and I paid for it and then I left. So
did you read it?
Not yet, no. I guess that would have been good. I could have leaked a bunch of stuff for an issue 2, which probably isn't that big.
That comic book leaks issue to issue aren't that anything really, are they?
No, I mean, like, Amazing Spider-Man gets leaked every week because comic store owners get it and then they post it on Reddit.
Yeah, and they go, look what Paul's doing this week. Isn't that fun?
Like, oh, Paul's still breathing?
Yeah, wow, we got to kill this fictional character, kill him dead.
Did you see that there was a Spider-Man panel at New York Comic Con today? And they were like insulting like fans there. Like, no. Nick Lowe and Zeb Wells were there, and they're just like, everyone wants them to be married, but that's not really where we're heading in the first place. And apparently people booed. And
good. Fair enough too.
Groaned.
Fucking hell. Hunter, how are you gone again?
But it's like, why are you doing these? Why are they doing these storylines when they know it's going to annoy people? I don't know. I can
You know
hear
what's
you
interesting?
just fine.
Like this is what you are
I vanished,
experiencing.
but I can hear
Hunter.
every word. I
I
think.
know, but Hunter, what you're experiencing is what I experience, where I can clearly see that you're gone, but I can still you can still hear me. This is what I feel week to week. This is the pain that I have to go through, where I'm like, I'm still here, but I'm like, that the picture with the ant and the fucking stick and the sack on the end of that's what it feels like. It feels like, oh god, it feels like the Kevin James photo where he's just hands in his pockets and he's just like that.
It's happening again.
Yeah,
I'll be
like,
back in 10 seconds or so, but it's a podcast, so that it can be annoying. So I understand.
It's frustrating anyway.
Yeah. Oh well. I guess I didn't write down any news this week, but we could like try to do news here. It's mostly just a bunch of random like New York Comic Con news, like for panels here and there.
I love that you're
There's a-
trying to keep it like it's the regular podcast, especially because your segment is the last segment of the thing.
Yeah, screw it. We'll talk about other things. We'll talk about things that we like
Yeah, why not?
outside of comic books.
Ocarina of Time.
Like, Harper, why don't you see movies anymore?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that interested in things.
Both of our favorite thing.
I don't know, man. Last movie I saw was like,
Why? I mean, like Guardians, Spider-Verse, probably.
yeah, it has to be
Spider-Verse.
one of those. It was like John Wick, then Guardians,
Would've
then
been Spider-Verse,
Spider-Verse,
right?
and then I was out. I was donezo. Actually, let me try.
I mean,
There we go. Let's do that. Might help a bit on your end.
you're seeing the Marvels opening night though, right?
No, that's the thing though, because like we're on this podcast and we have to talk about comic booky things, but like I don't want to have to go out and pay and sit in the cinema to watch the Marvels. Like I don't want to do that. I don't.
Spoken like JD.
I just don't want to have to. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to do that. You know what I mean? I'm like too old. Like, when you're the age where you're like, I'll see well, you're still in that, but like I'm so old now that I'm like, I'll see a few things when I get to them, but it's not. But like that's me now. That's me.
I mean, it'll be on Disney Plus in like December.
Yeah, but like the podcast will not be in December. The podcast will be in 3 weeks or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be me sitting there going, yeah. Oh, did Kang fight Ant-Man? That's crazy. Like, but I won't actually know. Like, that's how it is.
Yeah. I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, is there anything coming out that you will see? I guess Deadpool and Captain America.
Well, that's a while away. But like, yeah, anything anything that's like got a trailer and is releasing, I genuinely can't think of like.
I mean, if you count it, we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man 2. You'll be there for that. That's exciting. At least.
Yeah, that's true. But that's why? Because I'm excited, and B, I can be at home. Like I don't have to go out.
That's why you watch Secret Invasion.
Yeah, because I'm like, fuck it, it's it. Dude, what is going on with the Loki schedule? Why is the second episode out?
It's every Thursday.
Is it?
Yeah, the first episode was Thursday, and then a week later, the second episode came out.
Is that how that works? Is that time?
Yeah.
When did I watch the first episode? I must have watched the first episode late and then been like, what's going on with the schedule? When really I just watched it late. Like,
did you watch episode 2?
No, I want to.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it's very good.
It was like yesterday. I just went, oh, Loki's out. What's going on with the schedule? Apparently, nothing.
I won't spoil it for you, but I'll hype you up. Okay. They really talk about how Loki was a villain.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like, why are you a hero now? You're a villain. And he actually like discusses his thoughts on it and everything.
That's good, because it was a very abrupt turn in season 1 when he went from I mean, I know he was like partially mind controlled and blah blah blah, but like to go from I'm gonna stab my brother and then fight the Avengers to being like, and now I'm in the TVA and I'm doing fun missions.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So some guy does be like, why are you doing this? And he actually talks about why. And he even says, like, I'm still a villain deep down. And he talks about how, like, I get angry and sometimes it takes over. I got so angry that the Mind Stone didn't work on Iron Man, so I threw him off a roof.
Yes, you did do that.
So it's good. I like how they're like actually talking about it. And he's talking about the Avengers.
I love that he's just talking to like the idea that he's talking to someone and going, yeah, I threw Iron Man off a roof. And they're like, what does any of that mean? Oh, he's gone again. I thought the door would help, but the door hasn't helped. Oh, he's back. Hi. Oh, he's gone again. Okay. Oh, he's back? No, he's gone again. A Hero Story, episode 248. Oh, here he is. It's back. Why does this only happen with Hunter? Oh
I
my
say,
god.
if I ever freeze,
That is so
you
funny.
just got improv.
Dude, you doing this, when it caught back up, I hope it shows it in the video, but you like sped up and were doing it super quick, like it was 2 times speed. That's gonna look so funny if that, I mean, it has to be recorded because I'm the one recording it, but it looked so funny.
We just gotta, if I freeze, you gotta improv until
Maybe
I unfreeze.
that's what I do. I just talk to the audience. I'm like, oh, hey guys, he's gone. But it's like, remember that time when I was like, I looked up at like super speed because I was glitching, and you guys were like, Jesus Christ, that's exactly what it was like. That's gonna look so funny when I edit that together, and it's me going, oh, he's gone, and then it just cuts back to your camera of.
If I freeze again, I'm gonna start doing things just so it speeds
so
up.
funny. Yeah, next time if you ever hear me go, oh, he's gone, just get up and stand like in a random corner in the room.
That's a good idea. Now I want to freeze.
Yeah, exactly. It's very like this is a probably a YouTube heavy episode.
Was it YouTube heavy for JD and Tyler?
JD probably. I feel like Tyler. I think maybe it's gone up. I think JD and I know, Tyler and I a little bit, and you and I definitely.
Okay, fair enough.
That being said, we respect and we love our non-video listeners in this house.
Okay, yeah, we'll say that.
Well, okay. I do. They make up most of the numbers. I definitely appreciate them.
Yeah, we can say that while recording, I guess.
What are you trying to imply, Hunter? What are you trying to imply that we say when we're not recording?
Are you reading Flash?
No. No, I'm not. No, I'm fucking not. I would like to, because like I don't know.
What's stopping you?
I just like, it's just interest. Like it's just it's a thing that I don't have a feeling towards currently, and it's like hard to motivate myself to get back into, like, you know what it is? I think I sort of realized this recently. I think it's because I have my favorite hyperfixation characters, my characters that I love. And when you read,
Wally's one of them, though.
Yeah, but when you read like 50 years worth of that character's comic books, you kind of just like, yeah, I'll get to the new stuff when I get to it. Because if I could read like fucking this character from the 70s until now in like 3 months or something, I'm sure I can catch up on a series that's like 15 issues deep in like a year's time.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the way I look at it. I'm like, I will get to things and I will read them when I am ready and interested to read them. And I know that I will, because it's circles, you know what I mean? Like the things that I love, they don't really come and go so much as they circle around in the forefront. So like Star Wars stuff is at the forefront for me, really, at the moment. That's why I caught up on Darth Vader, because that was the vibe that I was feeling. But I know at a point that stuff is going to shuffle to the side, and like Daredevil is going to come back, and then Daredevil is going to come into the forefront, and that's going to take it up. And Star Wars will be at the back, and I'll be interested, but I won't be like, I should rewatch the Clone Wars. I should do this and read this and blah, 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 blah. And then after I've caught up on Daredevil, maybe I'm feeling Daredevil, and I'm like, okay, cool. Then like maybe Doctor Strange will move back into like the thing, and I'll be like, I should read Gods. You know what I mean? Like I should read Gods. I should catch up on whatever. Like it's all moving around this sort of cylinder, and it's just what I'm currently into at the time.
Yeah, no, that's understandable actually. I get that. Like for me, I'm obviously not that big into Star Wars as you guys are, but I feel like I'm more into Star Wars than like your average fan. I've seen more.
Yeah, you're in the middle.
Like when Ahsoka was coming out,
you're the Bendu. You're the Bendu.
It's Bindi.
No. Did you seriously just make an Irwin's reference?
Yeah.
You for real, bro? I'm making Australia Zoo, fucking Stephen Bindi Irwin. Righto. Okay.
No, but like when Ahsoka was coming out, like I'm like, I'm in. Star Wars is awesome. I love it. And then it ended, and I'm like, all right, back to not caring.
Yeah, right. You're in it. Yeah, that does happen a fair bit. I mean, it was yesterday that I went. I like actually sat back and went, oh, they didn't fuck it up. Like they could have Boba Fetted that show.
But it's great, yeah.
They could have like listen to me when I say this, and the weight of it on my mind. They could have Boba Fetted Thrawn. They could have Boba Fetted him.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
He could have died.
He could have,
Imagine-
but he
imagine
could
he
have.
dies.
He could have died a worse death than dying. He could have been awful, and that's worse. Oh, I'm not. He thinks he's glitching, but he's not glitching as bad. Oh, maybe he is. Actually, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so now he's sort of just like middle. Yes, that worked so well. Yes, that worked so well. You weren't glitched as bad as you thought, but like it stopped you the moment you went like this, and then the next was just you standing in the corner. That was so good. But yeah, I was so happy. Like they didn't, like, not only did they not fuck up Thrawn, like he was quite cool. I think especially in the last episode, like some of the lines he said, I was just like, oh, that is vintage. That is vintage, my boy. That's so good. But the fact that like they did that, they also had Anakin in 4 fucking episodes in varying capacities. But like this show,
capacities that made sense. Too.
Yeah, but it's like all of these things that they put in this show that they didn't fuck up feel like they hand delivered into my heart, and I could rest easy. Like I didn't need the show to be. I didn't even need it to be very good. I wanted it to be okay, and like the parts that I care about be like the highlight. But the show was good. There were some parts that was like, okay, you're probably wasting a bit of time here. You know, maybe it's a bit slow to start, and then it goes really up, and then maybe it sort of plateaus at the end and goes a bit safe. But like on the whole, it's a good show, and the shit in it is good, and that's so satisfying as a Star Wars fan that has to go, well, no, I like this in this, but I'm not so sure about that. Oh, we've hit the 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like for Star Wars, for you too, like you probably started Ahsoka. Maybe you relaxed eventually, but you probably started like afraid.
I was moderately. I think it was the week that episode 6 came out, and I was like, are we gonna see Thrawn this episode? And then we get the big entrance, the Chimera comes over the pillar, and we get like they're all chanting Thrawn, and then you see him from the back. He starts walking out. I remember being like, oh god, okay, here we go. Like it was dread, because like a lot of the characters that I love in things were already in those. Like Iron Man was already in movies when I fell in love with Iron Man, because it was the first.
So movie. This is like, okay.
Daredevil, Daredevil. I love Daredevil comics, but I got into Daredevil. I mean, I love Daredevil as a kid because of, the Ben Affleck movie, but the Spider-Man animated series. I got into Daredevil comics like, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years before the show. But like in my mind, I was so confident as like a 17, 18-year-old kid that like, I wasn't worried, like, are they going to fuck up Daredevil, my character? Like, I was more just like, yo, Daredevil show, that's crazy. And then it was...
Yeah.
But this is the first time I'm like, oh, they're introducing a thing that is very personal to me already and has been for a very long time. And they could absolutely butcher it. Like, they could do that. It could be a thing that they do. And they didn't. And thank fuck they didn't. My God.
Because then you're able to relax. Like, for me, my biggest fandom outside comics is Dungeons and Dragons. So when I saw the movie the first time in theaters, I was sitting in theaters like that Thrawn picture always sent, where he's like this. Yes. I was like, I wasn't laughing or anything. I was just like focused.
Yeah,
like,
you're just like, please, God.
Yeah,
please.
they're getting the lore right. They would like mention places and characters and stuff in the lore, and I was like,
you're just like,
this is good. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, there were a couple moments like that with. I mean, I sort of spoke about it in the group chat, but the fact that like, the last few episodes, Thrawn's plan is all based around the fact that he knew Anakin Skywalker. I never, ever once thought that they would reference the books in any kind of way. And to reference Thrawn Alliances, which has to be... I love that book. I love it as an Anakin and Vader and Thrawn fan, and it's a buddy cop team up in 2 timelines. But like, it's the most filler Thrawn book that has ever existed. You know, it's a fun, it's a fun side adventure. The fact that is the thing that is referenced in this show, and the reason that he wins is because he goes, "I know you because I knew your master. I concluded your strategies would be similar." Like, that is fucking.
That's for you, yeah.
That is like, it's literally like gifted straight to me. It's so good, and like, I think some people always want more of things. They're like, oh, you gave me this, but I need this and this and this. Dude, I got thrown in 3 episodes in live action and they didn't butcher him. If he never showed up again, I'd be like, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I will take it.
Yeah.
This is a massive W for me. I will take it.
But he seems to be like the main villain for this
I think
era.
that's it. I mean, I think there'll probably be an Ahsoka season 2, and I think then there'll probably be that Mandoverse movie. And then I like, but even then, like, if Ahsoka season 2 came out and it was kind of okay, and he only showed up for 2 episodes, I'd be like, okay. But I mean, look at what we've got still. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, well, this thing's come along and therefore that sucks. Like, Mando season 3 for me is kind of poo bananas. But like, I'm never gonna not watch those first 2 seasons and be like, this is so fucking good, because it is. It is so good.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's like, I mean, Game of Thrones. The last season is awful, and it ruined the show.
It really did.
But
yeah.
I still really love moments.
That's what I mean. I will watch seasons 1 through 6 of that show with utter glee. Like I adore that show up until that point. And even then, when I watch the shittier parts, I'm just more like, oh, that's funny that they fucked that up. But I mean, I guess that's easier for me to say because I'm not as attached to it. But I'm very attached to my Big Blue. Big Blue is my boy, and I was so scared that they would fuck him up. I was so scared. Like, I'm just happy that we got it at all. I'm just happy that this show was the quality it was at all, especially coming from Kenobi, which I like. I like a lot of elements of Kenobi, but you know me, I feel as someone who
could have been 50 times better.
I would be the number one person to defend that show, and I think I started that way, and then I think I saw a lot of the like, yeah, why does this feel so cheap? Why didn't they do this and this and this? And it felt, it felt kind of like, oh, that's it was a thing I was excited. It's probably the thing that I've been most excited for in my life that has then ended up being like, okay, yeah, I liked some of that quite a bit, and then some of it was whatever. Like Kenobi. Kenobi's not like Ahsoka. Ahsoka I can look at as a series, and even though Anakin only shows up, the 4th episode to the last episode, and Thrawn's only in the last 3, I can look at Ahsoka as a show and be like, yo, that's a show. I'm happy with that. As one story, I'm happy with that. As the last 3 episodes, I'm happy with that. As the Anakin appearances, I'm happy with that. Whereas Kenobi is like, I really like this one part. I like this part in episode 3. Episode 4 is kind of a waste. The first 2 episodes are like whatever. The 5th episode's good, but I'm not sure about the camera work. And the 6th episode's mostly good, but I don't like the Reva stuff on Tatooine. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm making conceits for the levels of quality, and instead of just being like, yeah, that was pretty good.
In the end, it's like maybe a 5 out of 10, if anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like maybe it's like a 5 or a 6 out of 10 show with some like 8 out of 10. It's good,
but it's
like stuff
bad at the same time. Yeah. It's just too many bad things in what could have been a good show. And like even plot wise, they could have done something else.
This show is like, Ahsoka is good enough that if Anakin and Thrawn were in every episode and I had to feel like an attachment to every episode because they appeared in them, I'd be like, yeah, cool. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, I can't believe they put Thrawn in the episode that sucked shit. Like there isn't that in this show, which is like, that's nice to feel as a fan of these things.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good. I'm happy for you.
I'm very happy for me, man. I'm just like there are some small. This has really just become. This is a Star Wars episode. It really is just a Star Wars episode.
Oh no! Like we're supposed to talk about comic books.
But like, I remember there's one part where, like, Thrawn says like right at the end, he's like, "Today victory is mine. Long live the Empire." I was never expecting them to get into the minutiae of Thrawn's, like, I'm actually doing this for the chiss, and to have the might of the Empire on my side to help my people when the Grisk come and all of that shit. I didn't think they would include some of that. But there are things in there that if you are a fan of that character, you can read into and go, oh, I see. Like there's that part where he says, for the Empire, and then he goes, for the security of our galaxy. And I was just like, oh, that's like the security of our galaxy. I'm like, oh, so there's a little bit more going on there. I like that. You know what I mean? It feels like
and that's just a good villain, though, because it's showing that like he believes what he's doing is for everyone.
Yes, like there's more. It feels like there's more to it than like the Emperor is the best. Like no, like it seems like he has a reason to do it, and he really wants to get back. And even if it is in service of the Empire, this is the way he's knowing how to do it. That's good enough for me. I didn't need Thrawn to show up in the show and go, Sabine Wren, I need to get back to the main galaxy because my people are under threat from the Grisk. And you'd be like, what are the Grisk? You know what I mean? Like, no one who's read like the Ascendancy trilogy is going to know what the fuck that is. Yeah, exactly. They're an outside warlord threat that want to attack the Chiss people in the known galaxy, and the Chiss want to fight against them. So Thrawn joins the Empire so that he can have the might of the Empire. So in case that the Grisk come, he, the Empire, and this Chiss can team up and defeat the Grisk, and everyone will be fine. The security of our galaxy. Yes.
And Silver the Hedgehog is from the future that's destroyed, so it comes back to the present time to find who destroyed the future, but he doesn't know who.
That's what I was gonna say, bro.
See?
Actually, okay. I do. Sabine Wren. I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Did you like Ahsoka?
Oh no, I loved it. Yeah.
Ahsoka, my nuts in ya.
No, I'm not gonna do that. It came to mind.
Hunter,
I hesitated.
Hunter, I have done that with both. I did it for JD 3 days ago. I did it with Tyler, and now I've done it with you. I've done that same joke every single time.
I'm excited to listen back.
We'll see what I've done, and the audience will see it because they will see this last minute. But what I've done is each segment ends with me going, Ahsoka, my nuts in ya, and then like the person's reaction, and then it just hard cuts to the next segment.
And so the last segment. So
like what I've done is I've taken like this last minute and I've just put it at the end so that you can see the aftermath of everyone's reaction. It's just in like black and white. Very fun. Yeah. Anyway, we've got like 30 seconds left, and this is about to shut down. Like it's gonna kick us out of the call. So that was fun. We had fun.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I guess yeah,
we've done it. We did it.
We did it. Sorry you had to cancel your plans and the wedding.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, the wedding,
family's funeral.
Yeah, but the whole family.
But you got to do a hero story 3 days in a row.
Yeah, and I got to do my same joke 3 times in a row. So that's sick.
That's worth it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to listening back. I've only ever listened to the podcast where I'm not on, which is only 3 of them with Caleb.
I love watching you rush through this because you know. Anyway, did you watch Ahsoka?
No, I still haven't watched it.
Ahsoka, my nuts in ya.
Vine boom effect. Oh my god!
I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty sure the time is like legit about to run out. So if that's where we end up cutting it, that's so funny.
That's right there. Honestly, that's how you can segue into the next one with
Ahsoka, my nuts in ya. All right. Let's see. Less than a minute, yeah. So my question to you is, did you like Ahsoka?
I really did, yes.
Ahsoka, my nuts in ya.
You just gonna stare at the screen for the next minute?
I can stop.
Just be like, yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Okay, so I did that joke to JD as well, and I'm gonna do it for Hunter as well.
Oh god. He didn't even watch Ahsoka. Like, Jay didn't even watch it.
I know. He went, oh, I'll get around to it. And I said, Ahsoka, my nuts in ya. And he just looked and went,
oh, God. God, I can't believe there's so much I'm actually going to have to listen to this episode.
Yeah, you are.
Wow. Yeah,
Dickhead.
well, good time. Yeah.
Did
Star Wars chat.
Oh.